The Mavericks played a basketball game, and they lost
They did.
again. They lost another player to injury. Today, we're going to play a game of Would You Rather with Slightly and answer some of your questions from social media on today's Locked On Mavs.
I'm going to get a city like that.
Dogs, all of us, all five.
You are Locked On Mavs, your daily Dallas Mavericks podcast.
No one's dying.
Part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Still can't leave me alone.
Your team every day.
Gotta be born with it, dog blood.
Yeah, here we are. You're locked on the Dallas Mavericks. My name's Isaac. I'm one of your co-hosts on the show. Covered the Mavs for 10 years. Guys, you already signed up for our newsletter. You're signed up for our Text Insider program. If you're not, what are you doing? I don't know. Nothing better than signing up for one of those. And today I'm joined by Slightly.
To
I love your
answer your
background today.
yeah, we're going with the more calm, serene scene. To answer your question, would you rather? Yes. I don't even need to hear it. Yes.
Oh man, this is a post-game pod. This is technically a post-game pod as the Mavericks played the Houston Rockets in Houston. I guess they played. I guess we want to do like air quotes that the Mavericks played. The Mavs lost another one in Dante Exum, broken hand.
Man.
The opposite hand in which he had surgery on that wrist, the other wrist. So, wasn't even the wrist he had surgery on. It's like, oh, brand new one on the other hand. But we're going to talk about the game a little bit in the second segment. I want to start off with a little game with Slightly here called Would You Rather? So we think the Mavericks are probably going to be aggressive this summer, whether it's Kevin Durant or someone else. If they do go out and they try to trade, let's say they re-sign Kyrie, let's say they go out and they want to trade for somebody that has a bigger contract, they might have to be a little selective on roster moves and how they construct this roster and financially of what to put in a trade. So I think there could be some players that they might have to make a decision on. And I'm going to throw a couple at you.
Let's do it.
All right, if they have to pick Naji Marshall or Caleb Martin.
I guess this would all be kind of contingent on who they get.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'd have to pick Naji just because we have such a small sample size of Caleb. Naji's younger than Caleb. And I also just feel like Caleb Martin's injury history has sort of mounted up to a point this year where I don't know if you can consistently rely on him to play. Although I do like him as a player, and I have been somewhat impressed with him since he's made his debut with the Mavs, right? I think he's pretty versatile defensively. I like some of the stuff he's done defensively. We've seen him pick up, guys like De'Aaron Fox. We've seen him pick up any game like this just out of pure necessity. We saw possessions where he's, guarding Şengün on post-ups. So he is a versatile defender. Now, granted, a lot of that's just out of pure necessity for the Mavs right now, but I think I'd go Naji only because when healthy, if your team was fully healthy, I do really like the idea of Naji Marshall being this bench guy who could just kind of run your offense when your main ball handlers are off the court. And we saw that at times when the team was healthy for the couple weeks that it was. So I'd go Naji right now.
I think I'd go Naji too. I just really like Naji on this team. And I was earlier in the season when they had Kyrie and Luka. I was like, man, is Naji the third best playmaker on the team?
Yeah, he was.
more than Dinwiddie in that. And yeah, man, I really hope no matter who they go after this summer, I really hope that they can bring Naji back and bring this guy off the bench, let him create some offense. He's like all day buckets in the paint. Are we concerned with Caleb Martin's shot at all?
I mean, it's ugly.
This hitch, man. Like I went back and during the game tonight, shocking, did something else during the game. But I went back and watched highlights of his run through the playoffs a few years ago. And I was like, it's a little bit there, but not as much as what it is now.
Yeah.
It just looks uncomfortable right now.
Yeah, it's sort of developed, I feel like, in the last year or so, but it is ugly. And I don't know, he's never, percentage-wise, he's never been somebody who's been like a knockdown three-point shooter, right? But the thing that he had going in his favor is, well, we've seen him do it in the playoffs at like a very high level. So That's
Yeah.
always something that you give the benefit of the doubt to a guy like that. But yeah, I mean, I'm not thinking Caleb Martin's gonna go out there and shoot 40% from three with any real consistency.
Yeah.
Has he made a
Okay.
three yet? Did he make a three tonight?
Yeah, he did.
Okay, that was his first three.
Honestly, it made me
The
think
Mavs.
about it. So I was like, man, that was kind of ugly, but it went in.
He's
And
38% with the Sixers this year. So
let's go.
it's
Knock
there.
down. Better than Grimes. All right, they're both on minimum contracts right now. Let's say the Mavs have to pick one of these guys in the summer: Dante Exum or Spencer Dinwiddie.
I mean, Exum to me is the answer. The sad reality is, I don't know if this guy. I don't know how, because the big story from tonight's game, which I'm sure we'll get to, Exum's going to miss the rest of the season now with a broken hand. I guess we did talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about it more in a second.
What else is there to say? I mean, this is so cursed. But Exum's going to miss the entire season with a broken hand. He already missed so many games with that wrist injury on the other hand that he had before the season started. He missed time last year as well. He's just been a guy throughout his career who can't stay healthy. And Dinwiddie does play. From a basketball side, I'd rather have Exum, but I don't know. If you're having to choose between one or the other, I just feel like Dinwiddie's on the court more often. And it's so bad with Exum that it is one of those availability is the best ability things.
Dude, the crypto hive is coming after you right now.
I know.
Dinwiddie has a good little following. And
I know he does. I've always kind of noticed that. And it's always made me wonder a little bit. I'm like, I'll see a comment. I'll just be like, Spencer?
What?
Is that you?
SEOs pulling in some views here on this one. Yeah, I think I'm with you on that. I think I'd take Exum. I get the injury part, but it's like I like everything of what Exum could bring. And I think if you go out and be aggressive this summer, you're going to be aggressive for another scorer. And Exum kind of does all the other things out there and his size at the point guard spot.
Oh man, 17 games for Exum. Wow. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. This one is they might not have to pick between one of them. Maybe if it's just like matching salary, Klay Thompson or Daniel Gafford.
Ooh, that one is. I mean, Gafford I think is better as a player right now. I would say. My problem with Gafford, and I kind of always thought he was going to get traded in the summer, even before all the Luka trade and everything. I just feel like he was a very obvious trade guy. Was because he's an expiring contract. What we've seen this team do is move off of those guys or move those guys for contracts that they feel more comfortable with, a la the Quentin Grimes, Caleb Martin deal. And because of that, I don't know. I do think Gafford's a better player at this point, though. So,
Okay.
But with AD in the mix and Lively, hopefully healthy, I mean, the Gafford is in a weird spot with the roster.
I know that's the thing. It's like I think I lean Klay over
Are
Gafford.
You gonna pay Gafford?
I know that's the thing. It's like him and PJ going into final years of their contracts this summer, and I would hope that Anthony Davis is going to be healthy enough to where he's going to be playing the backup five behind Lively. To where it's like, all right, if I have to pick one, I think I'll take Klay shooting over Gafford. But man, it'd be nice to have Daniel Gafford in there right now.
Yeah, that is the problem right there. Is if the team's fully healthy, Klay probably makes more sense from a basketball standpoint. Yeah. But the moment AD gets hurt, Lively hasn't been healthy his whole career either. Yeah. And the moment one of those guys get hurt, having a Daniel Gafford who has been healthy outside of this random knee injury would be a very big luxury to have. But then the problem is, how much is he going to want contractually? Because I think he's played his way from what we've seen into a decent contract.
Yeah.
But it'll have to be out on the open market. He's not restricted. A team's going to want to have to pay him. He's for sure a mid-level guy. And I would feel very comfortable paying him that. But the question is, once it gets to 16, 17, maybe into the 20s, I don't know if that's a real possibility or not. That's right. I think the Mavs would balk at that.
No, I think he's definitely going to get that. I just feel like there's so many teams that's looking for a guy like that. That's like, wow, man, this team's looking for a big body rim roller, shot blocker, down low. And it's like, all right.
If he's not traded this season, he feels like your classic sign and trade guy.
Yeah, that's good. All All right, last one real quick before we take a break. I think we touched on this the other day, but Kessler Edwards or Brandon Williams?
Oh man, I mean, Brandon Williams, I think is much more skilled as a basketball player. Like that much is certain. God, I really don't know. I go back and forth on this one all the time. I think they would choose Kessler Edwards. That's my get out of jail free card. I think they would choose Kessler Edwards. I'd probably choose Brandon Williams, but
You cheater.
yeah, that's my cheating right there. That way I'm right on both. I'm right no matter what.
Kessler Edwards' shot blocking has improved, has like impressed me so much. Is outside shooting some. I think he's definitely improved. The thing that is like tricky to me or is deceiving to me is I feel like he's like this long wing defender, but he's kind of too slow. It's like his feet are in like quicksand, especially like in this Rockets game on Friday night. There were different times they just blew past him, and it was like a split second that he was like reacting, and his feet were still flat. And it's like Fred VanVleet, which I wouldn't say is Kyrie out there, is already like 2 steps past him. And he's like trying to catch up. I'm like, all right, buddy, like got to be a little quicker on your feet.
Yeah, I mean, it's what is like. What are you looking at with your roster? Is it are we going in with Kyrie's going to be out for a while? Exum and Spencer are free agents. Hardy is Hardy. Like we need guards, or are you going to go hey, let's just in an ideal world, if we're not healthy, we're not going to win anyway. Let's just build our roster as if they're fully healthy. And I think Kessler Edwards makes more sense there. But
that's true.
Well,
any really good team is looking for. You always need bodies like that. So
yeah, and that's why they got him in the summer. That was like the perfect sort of if Kessler Edwards pans out, that's great type of guy. And then it's that joke meme where it's like his job at work just got so much more important and it's ruining his life. That's Kessler Edwards right now.
that is Kessler Edwards right now. All right, let's hear from some of our friends real quick. This podcast is brought to you by Monarch Money. Ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go? Slightly, do you ever do that? You're like, where did my money go? All the time. Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in. Your personal CFO. Man, it'd be nice to have one of those. Giving you full visibility and control over your finances. I think Nick is taking advantage of this right now. He likes Monarch Money. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. So you just stop managing your money and start building wealth. Managing money with your partner is smoother than ever. You can even track and share personal accounts, set goals, stay on the same page without the stress. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONNBA at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com. Code LOCKEDONNBA for half off your first year. This podcast is also brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. Man, they've been our friends for a very long time. March Madness Selection Sunday is here on Sunday night. Excited for this. Ready to watch some prospects here coming up in the March Madness. And FanDuel's giving you the chance to get in the action like never before. Right now, new customers can get $200 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. That's $200 extra bucks to use on everything from buzzer beaters to Cinderella stories. We love the Cinderella stories, like teams. Sorry. And even who's cutting down the nets. The FanDuel app is simple to use, and when I win, I get paid instantly, no waiting around. So visit FanDuel.com, get in on the college hoops action all tournament long. See, dang it, I can't find the transition.
Shut it down! Let's go home! VCU, that's my Cinderella.
Let's go. Are you going to fill out a bracket on Sunday?
Oh, yeah. The only reason I'm saying VCU is I watched their tournament game today, and they're so annoying. They pick up full court. They get like offensive rebounds 40% of the time. I'm like, yeah, that's a team that beats your favorite team in March Madness.
Yeah. I've been watching a lot of Cooper Flag recently, and I just want to figure out how firm of a take I want to have on him as far as like what's his ceiling in the league long term. He's so dang good, dude.
Yeah, he looks incredible. I'm not a big college basketball guy, but from what I've seen,
I used to be a ton, but now my
the further removed I get from college, the less I care about college sports seems to be my takeaway.
And it's like I know a lot of these teams in NBA suck at times, especially in this time of year, but it's like I'll turn on League Pass. I'm like, you know what? I think I will watch Hornets Spurs over one of these other. All right, let's talk about this Rockets game. I mean, it's a blowout. The Rockets won by 1,000,000 points. It wasn't even fun at all. The biggest Mavs storyline coming out of it, Dante Exum. I think since we were recording, you said that, and I checked it real quick, but Jason Kidd confirming post game he's going to be out for the year, which is not too much longer in the season, but still, Dante Exum out. He's been starting. This leaves the Mavs with exactly eight players healthy moving forward. Now we hope that PJ Washington could come back soon. He didn't make his return in this game, but 8 healthy players in both Kessler Edwards and Brandon Williams are nearing their, like, one of them's 3 games, the other one's 6 games, nearing their limit. What are we going to do?
Forfeit games.
If you could hit the button right now, it's like, hey, hit the red button and you forfeit every single game the rest of the season, would you hit it?
As a fan, yeah, I would probably hit it. I mean, it's just this season feels so cursed. It feels like you're going to leave the next month with 2 more injuries. Like, that is what it feels like. And it's just, you want to wrap these guys in bubble wrap. The funniest thing about all of this is AD might come back this season, and it just might be out of pure necessity. Like, it might not be like hey, we want AD back, we want to make a push. It's, guys, we have 7 players and AD can play, so he has to be out there.
AD, can you put your uniform on and just sit there?
That there might be a game in the near future where they have air quotes 8 active players, but you see 6 guys take the court.
Yeah,
that's a possibility. I mean, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. I've never seen injuries like this.
I haven't either. And some of you might be listening and you don't, maybe know their financial situation, but it's like they're hard capped there at that first apron. They're so close to the first apron right now that they can't sign anyone, not even like a 10-day contract. So minimum contract, that's a joke. We're not even a 10-day right now. So they're kind of screwed. And I'm really curious to see what happens in that. But I mean, as far as play on the court, I mean, rebounds matter. Something I've always said. I mean, it's like what, a plus 29 advantage or 28 advantage for Houston.
Yeah. When
second
you get
chance
doubled
points, 29 second chance points for Houston, 2 for Dallas. Anything else about this game that stood out to you?
No, I mean, a game like this with your lack of size, with Şengün, Jabari Smith back, it's going to be a lot of problems. I mean, this is a Rockets team that's already really good at rebounding. They crash the glass. So not having size really hurts. But outside of that sort of obvious stuff that you can't really fix because of your injuries, Brandon Williams had another great game. I mean, scoring-wise, 25 points, 11 to 14. He's so crafty. He's so shifty. I thought the guards in general, I thought Spence had a good game as well. I thought when they did get Şengün switched out on the perimeter, I thought they did a great job just attacking him, blowing past him. So good on those guys. Naji had another good game. There's stuff from Naji that I'm hoping, if he's still on the team next year, kind of translates. And we look at this last little stretch he's on, and he's like, all right, Naji, if you grab a rebound next season, no matter who's on the court, whatever ball handler we trade for, Kyrie comes back, 80 on the court, you grab a rebound, you have you have permission to go. Just go, push the pace, get to the rim, do whatever it is you need to do, because that's a skill set that he has that I enjoy quite a bit. And it's part of the reason why he's playing so well, is because that's just what he's been doing. It's with so little guys, Naji's just grabbing rebounds and going. And Christie and Klay Thompson combined to go 3 of 19, or 3 of 29 from the field.
Let's go.
The Terror Twins.
Ballin'. You could have told me I couldn't do math. I didn't refresh my page. I was still stuck on like the third quarter. For rebounds, it was plus 33 for Houston.
Yeah, the Mavs nearly got doubled up on the glass. Hey, only 7 turnovers.
Yeah, 7 turnovers. That's solid. Shout out to Tari Eason. 30 points plus 37 in this game. That's pretty crazy. If you had to pick Tari Eason or Jabari to keep long term.
I like Tari Eason so much.
I do too.
But I am a believer in Jabari, but Tari Eason, I feel like, is just the dirty work. He's on your team. You just feel good.
He's got that like nastiness in him too. Like he wants it. And you put him on the floor, he's going to give it all the whole time. Like, I love that.
Great defender, Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
I like it. Jabari had a good game tonight though too.
All right. Enough about this game. I want to get some more questions for you.
Let's go.
I want to keep the who would you rather? We're doing 3 summer trade targets real quick.
Okay.
KD or Zion?
Wow.
Everything considered.
Well, I would just have to assume just contractually they'd be similar packages.
Okay.
I do think Zion will be much more expensive to trade for in the summer, but that's so tough. Do you look at the season and say, you know what? If we're going to be hurt, let's just take a gamble and say if we go get Zion, if we are healthy with Zion, we'll be great for years to come.
So hey, Kyrie's out with ACL. AD's coming back. We're gonna bring Zion in, and it's the ultimate, dude. If we're healthy,
Yes.
Kyrie, Klay Thompson, championships, games, and sorry.
I think I'd rather go Zion. Actually, I'm thinking about it a little tiny bit.
Okay.
I'm still there with Zion. I watch him when he plays and he's on. He is a top 10 player in the league.
He's a lot of fun, yeah.
But it's Katie's so old too. I think that factors in where it's just Zion. You would have that proverbial window a little bit longer.
Could he be?
You can at least talk yourself into it. But
yeah, I was like, could KD be Zion's dad?
It'd be a young situation.
Okay. Giddy's like, what? So
I've heard Giddy's name is a potential trade target.
Whoa. All right, Kobe White or Colin Sexton?
Oh, Kobe White is better.
Okay, yeah, me too. And here you go. Both free agents this summer. Both I do think for a point guard perspective in the summer, we don't know any clue with what the Mavericks are going to be playing around with money wise because of Kyrie's contract, but you're going to have a chance to potentially start for a long time.
Yeah, true.
In the season next year for a team that's like a win now, like we want to do this thing. If you had to give a contract to somebody, Chris Paul or D'Angelo Russell?
Ooh. Chris Paul's been good this year for his age.
Dude, I saw the stat earlier of like he hasn't missed a game all year. I'm like,
that's crazy. That is insane.
I can't imagine what that would be like.
But he'll be what, 41 going into next year? Oh man. That's a toughie. I think I'd rather have I honestly think I'd rather have Chris Paul only because do I really want to watch D'Angelo Russell start for 50, 60 games? Not really.
No, I'm with you. I have no stock in D'Angelo Russell.
Is he unrestricted free agent in the summer?
I think he is, yeah.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I
would
be opposed to him necessarily if that's the only option. But yeah, I don't know. And he's had quotes recently where I'm just like, I don't know if I want that guy. Like the Minnesota Timberwolves stuff where he's like, yeah, they're missing me. And it's like, I don't know if they are actually.
Nick Young is missing you too. So, okay. Now I have 5 questions that were submitted. There were a lot of questions submitted on X.
Lord. Here we
Tweeted.
go.
I was like, hey, 5 questions I want to ask slightly. I'm going to pick some of them out. Here you go. From Juan Vale. He says, slightly, what is your hair routine?
I mean, pretty basic. I got curling shampoo and conditioner. Get in the shower.
Ooh, and conditioner. Okay.
Yeah. Get in the shower, shampoo, the roots. Get the roots in there. Sometimes I have this little scrub thing go through. Get the ends. That goes out. Boom. Conditioner on the ends. Leave it in. Do all my other stuff at the end. Conditioner out. Hop out. Little spray and conditioner.
Oh.
We're good to go. That's it.
You do like air dry or?
Yeah, air dry. Air dry, and I do not. If I get out the shower and I want to go do something, I usually don't brush either.
Okay. Dry shampoo ever? Is that?
If I go like a day or two without showering, but I usually shower every day. So,
man bun.
Yeah, that's if it's I had a long day. The hair doesn't look good.
Okay.
Wait, what's a man bun? Is a man bun is like this, right?
I mean, I can't.
Or
see
is this just like putting your hair up? Is that called a man bun?
Yeah, I feel like that's a man bun. You ever do like the Elsa braid?
No, I'm sorry. I got to push back. Man bun to me is like your hair's
top?
Yeah, your hair's not like that long, but you're really wanting to put your hair up. That to me is a man bun.
Or like it's like defined right here, and it's like tight bun here, but shaved.
Yes, That to me is like the man bun I have a negative connotation with.
Yeah. Instant thoughts on that. Eric asked, curly or waffle fries?
Curly or waffle fries? Waffle.
Yeah, me too.
I just can't. I think of Chick-fil-A versus what's even like an Arby's situation.
I will say I went to this Korean fried chicken place the other day, and they had some pretty good curly fries.
No, I mean I'm here for curly fries, but I feel like waffle just
Waffles
kind
better,
of great for dipping, great for retaining seasoning.
yeah, that's true. El Trizo, well, we already answered this. He said, should the Mavs sign CP3? We got you, El. From Funny Biz Nuts 41 says, what would it take to trust Nico again?
Trust is a weird word. I mean, what would you ever trust that someone's safe on this roster again? And probably impossible to say yes to that.
I know,
but trust in the sense of, oh, hey, I think he's actually good and doing a good job. I would have to say 2 championships. I think
2 championships, and Luka has to come out as like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Luka has to come out as Jeffrey Dahmer, or Luka's playing in Saudi Arabia in 2030.
Oh, I wish I had Nick's conspiracy theory.
It's funny because Bill Simmons brought that up on his podcast, but it's weird because he's not the first person I've heard say it.
Yeah.
So it is kind of interesting where it's like, is there people like rich people who know people behind the scenes who are like, hey, Saudi Arabia is serious about getting a league or like doing something. It's just weird that Luka's name's been brought up by 2 different people I've seen talk about it.
I mean, if Luka's like, dude, if I can be closer,
yeah,
and play for like 100 billion, and the Saudis have money out there.
That's what I'm saying. What if they say 1 year, 500 mil? Just come be the face of our league for a year. You could stay in Slovenia if you want.
See, I don't. Yeah, unless it was like there were proof that he was going to do that, and Nico like, hey, I'm going to publish the receipts. He's going to the Saudis anyway. It's like, okay.
Yeah, there's outside of winning now, there's nothing like the Luka career retrospective will happen in 10 years. You know, that's how it'll be. There's nothing Luka can do outside of literally leaving the NBA in the next 3 or 4 years that will, I think, change people's opinions.
Yeah.
And I think if they like win next year, let's say, it'd have to take another, I think, for fans to be like, all right, maybe Nico was onto something.
Yeah, even I was thinking about like, all right, what if they do bring KD in, and then it's kind of like one of those like mercenary titles.
Yeah.
And outside of like Kyrie, and then it's like you start thinking of like I grew up in Kentucky, and I remember when Calipari came in, and he starts getting these like one and done guys. And it was kind of like this thing for the fan base of like, well, we're not getting these guys who stick around for a while to like love these college guys, but man, a title's fun. Yeah. And it was just like a different type of title. Like the fans were still there and loved it and claimed the titles and everything, but it was like there's just like a different feel to it. And yeah, I just wonder how that would be in Dallas.
I think there's some similarities like the Rangers and Rangers fans, diehard Rangers fans. Correct me if I'm wrong, but 2010, 2011, when they almost won, that felt very homegrown team. There was like a lot of those guys we had sort of seen grow up through the system. And then when they won the World Series, it was Corey Seager, Marcus Semien, these guys who they just brought in. DeGrom was on the team, but he wasn't healthy. Baseball's different in that way, though, where it's like these guys move around so much, it feels like. So, but it still felt great. I mean, I don't think anyone was like, oh, man, but we didn't see them we didn't see their whole career.
Yeah.
I think it still feels really good to win. People underestimate that. People are lying to themselves when they say, I wouldn't even feel good if they win. It's like, dude.
Yeah, no.
Come on.
I don't buy that. I'm like, the streets will be filled with a parade. All right.
Yes.
If they win a title. All right. This is the last one. There were just so many people who asked this type of question that I was like, I'm not even going to put a name beside it, but it just says, are we cursed?
It's hard not to feel like the answer to that is yes. I mean, but it's crazy because it went back before the Luka trade. Because I remember we were having conversations on here before the trade where it's like, man, this feels like a season from hell. Just all these injuries.
Yeah.
And then the Luka trade happened and the injuries just got worse. It feels like the most cursed season in sports history. I mean, I don't know, at least in recent sports history. Like, I don't know if a fan base has dealt with a season like this ever.
Yeah, I've never wanted a season to end so bad. And even in some of those years, like pre-Luka, I don't know. It's just like, I was just like more of, fight for a spot, and then it would be cool for some of the young guys to get some like cool experience in a high atmosphere environment and all the stuff. And I'm just like, I just really honestly think it'd just be best for everybody.
Yeah.
It's like everybody just go their respective places. Let's just and then but it's inevitable. Dumont or Nico's gonna talk every other week, and we'll somewhere, and we'll talk about it.
I mean, that's what's interesting about this, right? Is they're like going into tonight. I guess you could consider with so little games left, somewhat comfortably in a playing spot. And I don't know a single person who's like, yeah, I want to be in the playing tournament. I have yet to speak to a single fan who's like, no, let's make the playing tournament and try to win this. Everyone I talk to is like, no, lose. Even if it doesn't even mean getting a better draft spot. It's just out of principle, like you were saying. Like, let's just get to the finish line of this season and then reassess.
Yep.
I think I would feel worse if we lost to the King. If we go to Sacramento and it's I like Spencer. Your starting lineup is Spencer, Klay,
your nightmare.
Naji.
Bonus is putting up like a 30-30 on Kessler Edwards.
Dwight Powell starting. Kessler's not even on the team anymore because they couldn't bring him back. He played out of his games. Like
the Hornets already like picked him up. And
yes, the Hornets. Kai Jones is starting. Like this is what I'm imagining, and it's just why are we in this game just to suffer?
To do post games like this.
Hey, former future should have been Mav Austin Reeve 22-10 at halftime.
Wow, are Lakers up?
They're down by 4 to the Nuggets.
What's that Suns King score right now?
Suns are out. This is a big one. Like I was prepared to come on here if the Mavs somehow won tonight and the Suns lost. It would have been like they're in the playing tournament, guys. That's what's going to happen. Suns up by 14 points in the second quarter.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah, if they end up pulling out, that's 1.5 is the difference.
Valley of the Suns. Let's go. I need to start getting my Suns gear out.
Yeah, and this was the toughest game they had in like the next 4, and then they go on that crazy 10-game stretch. So,
all right, pull this one out, guys. Let's go, KD.
I do feel like once it's over, it's over. If that makes sense. Once they pass the Mavs, I don't see them slipping.
Yeah.
So.
All right, guys. He's Slightly. I'm Isaac. We'll be back Sunday afternoon. They have an early game on Sunday. The Mavs do, and we'll keep this train rolling. Appreciate you, Slightly.
Quentin Grimes tribute video on Sunday.
Ooh, let's do it. Put it up there.
Do you think the team's gonna do it?
No, I don't think so.
That would be really funny.
You can't put a post on. It's like, thank you, Quentin. Yeah. Thank you, Q. It's like, well,
somebody in my chat made a funny point. It was like, what if they're so spiteful to Luka, they do a tribute video to Quentin Grimes and just do like a quick little thank you, Luka, like just picture on the Jumbotron when he comes into town, and that's it. No video.
Oh my gosh. All right. We'll catch you on Sunday.
Go Mavs.
Peace out. MFFL, baby.